for the Democrats. Look, prices are coming down. It's not going to happen immediately, but people are actually feeling it out there. This is the thing they should have been paying attention to a year ago when the American people were saying, you know, inflation is really high. It's coming down with Donald Trump. We see the numbers all over the place.
Señores, Donald Trump está que echa humo. Acaba de salir el informe de empleos del mes de agosto. Y adivinen qué. Los números no mejoraron milagrosamente, a pesar de que el mes pasado despidió a la directora de la Oficina de Estadísticas Laborales, culpándola de manipular los datos. Para colmo, ni siquiera sus aliados más leales en Fox News pudieron darle la vuelta. En esta ocasión les tocó reportar la verdad.
Disappointing jobs data, only 54,000 private sector jobs added, and look at this, the yield on the 10-year Treasury below 4.2%. The 2-year down around 3.61%, yields down.
The Labor Department reported U.S. job openings dropped to a 10-month low of 7.18 million in July. That's below the estimate of 7.38 million.
Los datos muestran que Estados Unidos solo sumó 75,000 empleos. Prácticamente hablamos del mismo número que en julio, cuando apenas fueron como unos 73,000. Los economistas esperaban al menos, no sé, un número como 100,000, pero el mercado laboral pues sigue siendo débil. Lo más alarmante es que en el sector privado el reporte registró apenas 54,000 nuevos puestos. O sea que las vacantes cayeron a su nivel más bajo en 10 meses. Y por primera vez, yo creo que desde la pandemia, hay más desempleados que ofertas disponibles.
Tomorrow, we are getting a private payrolls report, which is the ADP report, the precursor to Friday's big jobs report from the government. So ADP is estimated to show that the economy added 70,000 jobs to the private sector. And the August jobs report, one day later, expected to show 75,000 jobs were added. The unemployment rate ticking up 0.1% from the previous month to 4.3%.
Another flashing yellow light when it comes to the job market, because not only has hiring really dried up, but announced layoffs remain very high. So during the month of August, almost 86,000 announced layoffs by U.S.-based employers. That is up 39% from July, also higher than last August. In fact, this is the most for any August since 2020. Of course, that was during a once-in-a-century health crisis. So where are the layoffs? Well, Challenger Gray and Christmas found that a number of different sectors have laid off more people than they did at this point last year, including finance. But look at pharmaceuticals, more than double the announced layoffs from this point last year. Retail, nonprofits, and government announced layoffs way up, although I would note that some of those government layoffs, of course, have been challenged in court. As far as why companies are laying off workers, Challenger Gray and Christmas found a number of reasons during the month of August, including restructuring, market/economic conditions, and closing. Those top three, of course, speak to industry-specific pressure and/or pressure on the overall economy. And then number 4 on that list is DOGE, the government efficiency panel that was previously led by Elon Musk, slashing government.
Y ojo, recuerden que este fue el primer reporte desde que Trump echó a la directora Erika Enterford, acusándola de que supuestamente estaba manipulando, estaba arreglando los números.
Jane Chow was on yesterday, and I know, she was, I think she was labor secretary for 8 years under Bush II, and she was your transportation secretary as well. And she said, the commissioner doesn't really even get involved with the actual minutia of putting all these things together. And there's no way that it could have been, that she could have chosen to rig these numbers to make them look bad. And these are statistical changes based on this antiquated system, and it's just a big leap to go to rigged. And then it also, Mr. President, it makes anyone you pick is going to be, critics are going to say, hey, he's picking a guy that's going to give him or a gal that's giving him the numbers that he wants. So it undermines confidence in the system to some extent. You had, according to many people, all the rights in the world to try to replace a commissioner when it's hasn't gotten any better. but that is maybe a bridge too far, according to most.
Pues bueno, aún así, con un aliado suyo al frente, el resultado no cambió. La economía sigue estancada y para abajo. La desaceleración no es menor, sobre todo si es que comparamos con gobiernos anteriores.
I'm just stunned at another number in this report, and that is the downward revision to the June figure from 147,000 to just 14,000. So looking over the last 3 months, we've got 73,000 in July, 14,000 in June, and 19,000 in May. Those are incredibly weak headline numbers, and that's the total, not just private jobs. So this is a very soft report. And I guess what I'm really blown away by is that July generally is a report where the seasonals are such that you can surprise on the upside very easily, because 1 million people roughly drop out of the labor force with the school year, the school vacation. So that sets a very low seasonal bar for the data to clear, and clearly we tripped over the bar.
All right, we are just about getting these numbers shortly. We're waiting on the jobs numbers, where we're expecting 180,000 jobs created in the month of January, and the unemployment rate to tick higher to 3.8%. We are watching the revisions, of course, and we're also looking at production. You got the numbers?
Wow.
All right, let's get right to Cheryl. Go ahead,
This is something. 353,000 non-farm jobs. I had to seriously double check these guys.
353,000 jobs added in the first month of the year. Unemployment stays at 3.7%. What a blowout report.
The employers adding 216,000 jobs in December, up from the 175,000 that economists expected. The jobless rate remains at 3.7%.
Durante la presidencia de Joe Biden, la creación de empleos promedió más de 400,000 al mes solo en sus primeros 2 años. Y todavía se mantenía arriba de los 200,000 en 2023 y 2024. Estamos hablando de que mantenía 4 veces el número de Trump a pesar del rebote post-COVID. Las cifras fueron muy superiores a las de este gobierno republicano previo.
I'll tell you on every measure, from the economy, inflation, borders, energy, national security, he's missing in action.
Let's talk about them in order. Let's
hang on.
Wait, I want to challenge the premise. You said the economy, 13.1 million jobs he's created. More.
These are post-COVID jobs.
Okay.
You know that.
Well,
I mean, that's an artificial number.
No. Then let me stipulate this as an opportunity to engage civilly on this.
Okay.
Fair point. Your president, Donald Trump, lost 2.6 million jobs during his 4 years. We've created 13.1 million. Fine, you can maintain a COVID frame. How about the fact that Joe Biden's created more jobs, 6 times more jobs than the previous 3 Republican presidents combined?
Are you going to tell me?
Sean?
En cambio, bajo Trump, y esto fue antes de la pandemia, el promedio, digamos de este modo para poder comparar, en su primer mandato fue de 180,000 al mes. O sea que los números actuales no solo son pésimos para los economistas, también son malos si es que comparamos su propio historial. Más aún si lo ponemos frente al récord de Biden. Queda totalmente ridículo. Pese a todo su show de cambiar personal, que posturas de fuerza, que manipulación de datos, que los demócratas, el informe de agosto nos confirma lo obvio. Tenemos un mercado laboral que apenas respira, que se tambalea en lugar de avanzar.
Stan, new data painting an increasingly worrisome picture for the U.S. jobs market. For the first time in years, job seekers are outnumbering job openings. CNN's Vanessa Yurkevich is following this story for us. What are you seeing here, Vanessa?
Yeah, this is a JOLTS report that we get every single month, and it precedes oftentimes the jobs report that we'll get later in the week. But this JOLTS report essentially revealed that there are fewer jobs available than those that are looking for those jobs. So in the month of July, it reveals that there are 7.18 million jobs open. And there are 7.2 million people who are unemployed looking for jobs, so a little less than one job per person. And what this really signals is that there is starting to be a softening in the labor market, which very much starts to back up what we saw in July's jobs report, which showed a weakening of hiring, just 73,000 jobs added in the month of July, which led to President Donald Trump firing the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which puts out that monthly report. Fewer jobs there by 181,000. Retail and trade, also fewer job openings in that sector by 110,000. Mining and lodging, fewer jobs by 13,000. And then you can see there are pickups in construction, manufacturing, and wholesale. As I mentioned, Brianna, this report, this JOLTS report, is just before the big jobs report on Friday, which will tell us just how many jobs were added.
La dura realidad, señores, es que por más propaganda que difunda Trump, la realidad golpea. Precios al alza, inflación disparada y creación de empleos estancada.
For the Democrats, look, prices are coming down. It's not going to happen immediately, but people are actually feeling it out there. This is the thing they should have been paying attention to a year ago when the American people were saying, you know, inflation is really high. It's coming down with Donald Trump. We see the numbers all over the place.
All right, there's more breaking news coming into the Situation Room right now. Walmart warning this morning it's raising some prices because of tariffs.
Under the policies of Donald Trump and House Republicans, prices have gone up, and up. The latest inflation report shows that core CPI rose by the highest it's been since the last 6 months. Energy prices have gone up. Electricity is skyrocketing in a number of areas, more than doubling the pace of inflation in some of these areas. We know food prices have gone up. For example, 1 pound of beef has gone up 12.8% in the last 6 months. 1 pound of chicken breast has gone up nearly 6% in the last 6 months. And if you want to finance a new car with a car loan, it's gone up about $400 in the last 6 or 7 months. And what is Donald Trump and House Republicans doing about it? Nothing. In fact, House Republicans today on the Judiciary Committee are holding a hearing on European laws in Europe that govern what Europeans can say about speech. That's what they're talking about, instead of addressing inflation or the Epstein files. And then Trump's tariffs are going to make these costs even worse. We're asking House Republicans and Donald Trump to focus on what the American people want, which is to bring down costs.
Y lo más claro de todo, ¿no? Si hasta Fox News no pudo maquillar este tema, es porque la cosa está muy, pero muy mal. Ahora bien, señores, vamos a las últimas noticias desde el Congreso de los Estados Unidos. Y es que mentira tras mentira fue como se presentó Robert F. Kennedy Jr. frente al Comité del Senado. Lo más impactante no es que solo quedó expuesto, sino que fueron sus